Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. I'm Olivia, and if you haven't seen my face before, I am a perfume enthusiast, as you see behind me. So if you're into that sort of thing, make sure you subscribe. And if you're a returning friend, welcome back, guys. I'm so happy to have you here because today we are going to talk about fragrances in my collection that vibe. They're not necessarily dupes of one another, but perhaps they share similar notes and give the same impression. So without further ado, let's get into the video. First up is Toca Florence and Narcotic V by NASOMATTO. So I recently got my hands on a bottle of Narcotic V, and this is quite an expensive fragrance. And when I opened it up, I was actually shocked to see how similar it was to my beloved Toca Florence. Both of these are tuberose, jasmine, gardenia fragrances, but I would say the difference between them being this one is just a little bit sweeter. This one feels a little bit more natural. So there is quite a massive price difference, and if you have one, I wouldn't really suggest that you need the other, but because I am such a massive fan of gardenia, I don't mind to have them both. I think they smell absolutely fantastic, and there is actually another fragrance that's even more affordable that kind of reminds me of these two, and that would be Tahitian Vanilla by Pacifica. This one is a little bit more heady, this one's a little bit more soapy, so it's not as similar as the last two to each other, but if you like a gardenia and you like something that's a little less sweet and a little bit cleaner, fresher, more soapy, this one, I think these are only $22 at Target, so this one would be a great option. Next is Thé Noir by Le Labo and Golden Ticket by SNIF. Now, I was so excited when I got this in the mail because if you guys don't know, my favorite scent of all time is Thé Noir by Le Labo, but a 1 fluid ounce bottle costs $220. It's just ridiculous, and I love this scent. It's a black tea scent that's got fig to give it a little bit of sweetness, but it's got some smoky, woody nuances to it. And I'm not saying that these are dupes, because they're not. This one is also a tea fragrance, but it's a bit brighter, a bit fresher, and a bit more sweet, but a different kind of sweet. You don't have the note of fig. So although these ones are very similar, the price difference is massive, $220 versus $65. And I have to say that out of the entire range of SNIF, this one has to be my new favorite. Before it was Way With Woods, and now Golden Ticket has bumped it out of first place because this is a tea lover's dream. And these ones are very similar. This one's a little bit more dark, a little bit more smoky, and a little bit more slightly masculine leaning. And I'd say that this is a true unisex. It's a little bit more zesty, but they are very similar. So if you like tea, like me, these ones. Next is Valleja by Perfumes de Marly, and I don't have the original bottle, but Light Blue by Dolce & Gabbana. This is Dossier's version, and it's very, very similar. And I used to wear light blue. It's got a lot of memories attached to it, so I don't reach for it often, hence why I didn't spring for the full-size bottle. Now, this is a brand new one out of the house of Parfums de Marly. This is a citrus bomb. So if you like citrus, if you like clean, fresh, if you're like the clean aesthetic girly, this one is for us. But the main difference being light blue can be a little bit more masculine, a little bit synthetic, and it smells a little cheap in comparison. So if you loved light blue, I would say check this one out because this has an added note of vanilla and amber, so as it dries down, it has a multifacetedness that this one lacks. And I tell you, this used to be my scent. I adored this so much. So when they came out with this, I saw that a lot of people were saying it didn't last. And I couldn't believe it because the house of Parfums de Marly, their stuff lasts. And when I tell you, that is a crock of, because this lasted on my clothes until I laundered them. Until I washed them, the scent did not go away. And then, after I had washed them, it was still lingering a little bit. Now, mind you, my nose is more sensitive than a lot of people, so of course I'm gonna pick it up. But this, if you're a clean, fresh citrus girly, Oh my God, Valea, you have to try it. I apologize because I don't have the other bottle with me because I'm actually decluttering it, but we have Milk Plus by Commodity, and what I found it vibed to was Navitus Soir Exclusive. They both share this characteristic of a fluffy, sweet, milky marshmallow type scent, but the difference being between them, I found that Commodity is actually a little bit smoother. It wears better on the skin. It is a bit sweeter, so if this one was too sweet for you, Soir Exclusive by Navitus might be right up your alley. And I don't know if they make it anymore. I do have a bottle of it, but I'm decluttering it. It's just too similar to this. And like I said, I found this one to wear better on skin. And because this has the note of marshmallow, I layered this with Kilian's Love Don't Be Shy to make it a little bit more depth and a little bit more milky and a little bit more nuanced, because Love Don't Be Shy is a little too sweet for me, and that layering combination was lethal. It was so freaking good. So if you have this, you might not need Navitus Soir Exclusive. Now I know I said that this wasn't a dupe video, but this one, these could damn near be dupes. So we've got Deep in Desire Yacht by EBK, and we've got One Umbrella for Two by FLORAIKU. Now, EBK, if you guys have ever ordered from EBK, they're very expensive, and you actually have to message them on Instagram in order for them to send you an invoice and send it to you. So I don't really like that practice. I feel like it's a little shady, I don't know. But it smells absolutely incredible. This smells like a blueberry tart. It's got this bright, juicy, tart freshness like a blueberry, but then there's almost some gourmand elements to it. And when I got sent One Umbrella for Two, I was shocked to see that they smell almost identical. So let me sniff them really quick and I'll tell you the difference. So honestly, to the naked nose, the naked eye, these would smell identical on a person. They really would. I say that there's perhaps a touch more gourmand elements to One Umbrella for Two. And I don't have the ornate cap on this one, but these come with a really beautiful cap, and they're both very expensive. And although the scent is super unique and very eye-catching, I feel like they don't last as long as the price warrants. Now, my friend Steph has this one. Her channel is SNIF with Steph. She's very great, so you guys should watch her stuff too. This lasts for her a long time, but for me personally, they don't last long enough to warrant the price. But yes, if you have one, you certainly do not need the other. They smell identical. So we have another threefer. So we have Alien Goddess Intense by Mugler. We have Utopia Vanilla Cocoa from Kayali, and we have Exotic by Orientica. Now, all of these are vanilla amber coconut fragrances, but I'll tell you the differences. So with the Kayali, you get quite a bit more white florals. This has a little bit more of a clean approach. This is a little bit more daytime. And with the Mugler, you get a little bit more of the ambery nuance. This is still very white floral heavy, but you get a little bit more darkness. So imagine this is the nighttime, and then this one here is kind of the cocktail of the two. So it would kind of go like this being daytime, this being a good mid, and this one being your nighttime fragrance. This one is very sexy, the Mugler, and it's interesting because with the Kayali, a lot of people say that this smells very summery because it has tiare flower, but to me, I feel like this smells pretty thick and rich, so I personally wear this in colder weather. I think that this can be a little bit strong in the really warm weather. So you'd be able to get away with this in spring, but all of these vibe very similarly. They're very vanilla, coconut, and white floral dominant. The next to that vibe is Intense Cafe by Montal and Smoke and Roses by ZIMMER. These are both vanilla rose fragrances. I can't recall if this one has coffee or not, but it has chocolate, it has leather, so they both are floral, but they have some richer components, and it makes them a bit gourmand. But the difference being, Intense Cafe, although I really like it, this is a scent profile I really enjoy, it can be a little bit synthetic, and I feel that way about most Montal, but they perform really well. So if that doesn't bother you, then go with the Montal. But if you want something that's a little bit more natural smelling, not quite as strong, because I know the Montal can be way too much for some people. If you like that vanilla rose with some gourmand touches, but you want some darker notes like leather, suede, this one is a phenomenal option. This feels a little bit more organic, a little bit closer to the skin. It kind of blends with your person better. So if you want something loud and intense, Intense Cafe. And if you want something a little bit more smooth and a little bit softer, go with Smoke and Roses. And lastly, once again, I don't have the second bottle, so I apologize, but this is Queer from Carner, Barcelona. And this smells very similar, in my opinion, to Black Afghano by NASOMATTO. Now, both of these are pretty pricey, and they are very powerful. This smells of leather. It is very potent, smooth, animalic leather, but it's not like a car type leather. It doesn't smell like a handbag. It smells like something very smooth and high quality. And this has a bit of sandalwood that gives it a little bit of smooth lactonic creaminess. And that's the one thing that sets this apart from Black Afghano. It doesn't have that milky, slightly sweet component to it that I think this one gives a bit of smoothness, and that's why I got rid of my Black Afghano, because they just smell so similar. They're very leather predominant, but this one, in my opinion, is a little bit better blended. The other one is just very loud. So if you're looking for something that's perhaps a bit more green, because it has the note of cannabis in it, you might want to go with Black Afghano. But for me, I want something that's a little bit smoother, a little bit sweeter, so Queer by Carner Barcelona is my choice. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you've stuck all the way to the end, make sure that you are subscribed and join me on social media. I have short form content videos there that I come out with every single day that are different from the videos here. And I will see you next Saturday, 10 a.m. PST. I post once a week, and if you'd like to be notified, hit the bell icon so that way you're notified every time I upload. And without further ado, I'll see you next Saturday.